My submission for and against pay performance. For pay performance. Pros for performance-based pay can be really motivational for staff to work harder, whether this is putting in 100% of their effort all of the time, or whether they feel they need to start earlier and finish later to be seen as working harder, proving themselves. I think in the context in which we live today, it could be seen as fair and equally rewarding no matter your gender or your race. Offering higher salaries tend to attract and retain talent, as they would be more challenged in the workplace to compete with if other organisations are offering lower salaries for the same type of role. If salaries are closely linked to performance, then employers would likely focus on the tasks that are adding value to the organisation's strategic plan or core company values, which is then seen as achieving organisational goals. Against. Definitely could be seen as an unfair system, whereas you know that a certain employee is on a much higher salary than someone else that is performing the same job as you. There could be a conflicted workplace culture if there was a known divide between certain people getting promotions or higher salaries and other employees are not given that opportunity. This could cause negative reactions amongst other team members, leading to extrinsic behaviours in the short term. If employees are working harder and doubling their efforts to prove they are worthy of a pay rise because of those efforts, this could cause employee fatigue, increased sick days, or unplanned absences in the workplace. If employees are working hard and not being rewarded, this could cause an increase in staff turnover and difficulties in attracting talent. I think that assessing employees' performance can be seen as a bias, which could lead to demotivation amongst staff. My opinion. Similarly to my role in organisational change management, when I look at successfully implementing change for a new transformation program, you need to design a change management strategy that adds value. It is clear and concise, delivering on what's in it for me messages, the intended benefits for adopting the change to ensure successful adoption amongst employees with minimal resistance. I would take the for performance-based pay with some very key points to consider. It needs to be clear, it needs to be transparent, and employees need to be aware of the strategy that is in place. The strategy should include clearly defined evaluation criteria that is measurable and attainable, and those measures are clearly defined to staff. The organisation needs to adopt feedback loops to ensure managers can communicate their expectations of their employees, and employees need to be assured that they have equal opportunity to provide their managers with constructive feedback and conversations around their goals they wish to achieve. This can provide an environment for not only monetary incentives, but also giving verbal kudos and recognitions to their staff. The strategy would need to clearly outline how performance directly impacts them, receiving pay bonuses and other staff incentives. For employees who are underperforming, there should be performance plans that are equally transparent and are in place to support employees to get the best out of them. And if they aren't meeting the performance criteria for their role, then they can clearly see where they are underperforming and try to address it. Employers should build organisational capability around the strategy. The clearer it is for staff, higher the chances for staff to acknowledge and adhere to what is expected of them and know there are no unfair advantages in the workplace. Everyone should be on a level playing field. Creating performance-based rewards for employees should be transparent with really careful consideration and planning. Organisations should regularly review their strategy and make considerable efforts to adjust the strategy accordingly to meet best practice and industry standards. With a well-executed strategy, employees can align their efforts with the organisational goals and help build a positive workplace culture where people will want to work and be rewarded for it.